Hey folks, and welcome to Shocktober. Today we are doing the seminal horror classic The Thing, directed by John Carpenter. I'm Jacob, and your motherfuckers probably know me by now. That's how I talk. I'm very gangster.
Yep, he is. He's lived on the streets his whole life. The streets of Eternia.
I'm Gemma. You should hopefully know me by now. If not...
You will never know me.
If you...
Okay, so...
We're doing The Thing.
Once again, this is not a video, it's an audio commentary, so you can sync it with your own copy of The Thing in 3, 2, 1, play. This black screen's been on for a long time already. Oh, it's worked. Okay,
Universal Pictures.
Lovely, okay.
That guy. I hate that guy. He stole my money.
I like it's a really simple thing, but I like the font.
It is a nice
font. It's a nice font. Kurt Russell, a man who was once a movie star.
Yes.
And some other people.
Ennio Morricone is a great composer.
That's also a person.
I'm really getting sick of guys named Todd.
Rob Bottin, I think, didn't he leave work on The Howling to do this or something like that?
What a great movie.
Wait, The Howling, isn't that the one with what's the sequel? Wasn't the sequel to that like My Bitch Sister is a Werewolf or something? What?
My Sister is a Werewolf, but it's also Sturbo Werewolf Bitch, which is the UK title. And it stars Reb Brown and Christopher Lee.
Oh, that's right. That's the only reason I know about it, because I watched Spoony talk about Reb Brown on it.
Does anyone at the TV remote in case the television gets too loud and gets picked up on the microphone?
I do not.
I do not.
So this is a really famous, important horror movie. So shall we each talk about when we first saw it? I guess I saw this on home video during a phase when I was kind of discovering classic horror. I'd recently seen The Evil Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, all those kind of movies, the zombie films, and I think I hadn't long seen The Exorcist as well. So I was like really getting into horror movies, and absolutely thrilled by this film. It was probably my favourite of the bunch at the time.
Well, I first watched this when I was about 16, and I was again, it was kind of similar to you. I was going through a phase of but I was discovering body horror at the time.
Yeah.
So this is kind of, I watched this along with like Videodrome and and The Fly.
Can we talk about that effect? I think they had like a piece of paper and they actually ripped it away with like a light behind it or something to achieve that. It was actually done in camera.
Nice.
I first saw it as my second year of college, a year before I met you. And basically I didn't really... during breaks, they'd have DVDs you could borrow and watch. And I still had long breaks between lessons. So I watched The Thing. And when it came out on Blu-ray, I bought that.
Nice.
So straight away, you got a great location. You got Antarctica, which is something I'd never seen in a horror movie before. You know, like it's a really obviously the original is set. I actually think it's set in the Arctic. It's not set in Antarctica, the original, but it's just set in all this snow. But I hadn't seen the original for years. This was the first version of The Thing I ever saw, and for most people, it is the original. Because of course there have been several versions. When people say the original, they're referring to this over the 2011 version.
Yes.
But not the very first one.
Yeah, which is often called The Thing from Another World, which is still a decent movie. There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
And that's what most people think of this first, because it's more iconic and like, oh, there was a movie before this.
Yeah, but it's kind of same as like there's been many incarnations of House of Wax and other things like
Generally,
that.
people think of the original as the Vincent Price version, but of course it's not. Now, this is a really exciting opening, I think. And John Carpenter's really good at this kind of thing where everything's like very well photographed and has a slight eerie kind of spooky quality to it.
Yeah.
You're drawn right in. I think They Live has a similar kind of thing with, even though the opening of that's just a dude walking around and experiencing the world around him, it just has this quality to it where you're just invested.
Yeah. So apparently this was filmed in Alaska, Alaska and Canada. Like obviously you can't really take a film crew out to Antarctica and expect to like be there for a long period of time with the conditions that you get there. So I think what they've done is they've got a really good job of capturing what it could be like over there, because it's not really a place that people tend to go on a regular basis.
Do you think they've got something like something else with them? Because a gun's really not going to do much against. So if they did hit it, the guy wasn't actually a shit shot, and he did hit it, it's not really going to do much damage to it, is it?
I don't know if I could hit a dog from a moving helicopter.
No.
Like a dog that was running. I don't know if I could.
I totally could. I played enough Time Crisis and House of the Dead.
So Matt went to Afghanistan. He's got 20 confirmed kills. So fight him in real life.
I'm not saying I killed Obama. No, not Obama.
Fucking
Yes, I killed President Obama and replaced him with an alien.
Matt openly took part in treason.
It's not treason. I'm not part of it. It'll be an what would be the right word? A revolution?
I don't know. Chess wizard. So it's a great introduction to the protagonist, isn't it? Like straight away we know everything we need to know about this character.
He's got a beard.
Yeah, like he's...
And he drinks. He's a real man. He's a man's man.
He's intelligent.
Yeah, like... Yeah, like, but he seems like he plays it so well just in the face there, like he's very bored with his work out there, you know, because he's not one of the scientists, is he?
No.
McCready? He's just is he just the pilot, or is he a scientist who knows how to fly a helicopter? I can't remember.
I'm trying to think.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah.
As we watch it, I suppose. But I think he's just the pilot, isn't he? He's more like a tech guy than an actual scientist.
Yeah.
Now you no longer have a chess computer.
I was really.
He's going to regret that when he wants to play chess again, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was really intrigued by Kurt Russell around this time when I first watched this, because I loved Escape from New York. That was another film that I really enjoyed with him being the protagonist, and obviously Big Trouble in Little China.
I love Big Trouble in Little China.
You don't know something weird? I have not seen Escape from New York.
What?
Neither
I have seen Escape from
I.
LA.
None of you.
A bunch of times.
You're both missing out.
I've been meaning, like, I was going to buy a copy
really
of DVD, but they
Escape
no
from
longer
New
had
York,
one on Amazon when I wanted to buy one.
Well, we've got it on Blu-ray now, so you can. We're going to watch it at some point, and so are you.
At gunpoint.
Yes. But Escape from LA is interesting. It's got Bruce Campbell in it, and he's probably the best part about it.
Kurt Russell was a really big star. I wonder what happened to his career, because the last thing I saw him was Death Proof, where he was playing a role, and I just want to let this sink in for a moment, a role that Mickey Rourke turned down.
Jesus.
I just want to let that sink in with the audience. Mickey fucking Rourke turned down a role, and so Kurt Russell played it instead. That's the last thing I saw him in.
Well, Kurt Russell actually, he was in the Furious 7. He was in Fast and Furious 7. He was in the Hateful Eight with Quentin Tarantino, and he's in the new Deepwater Horizon movie. But he hasn't done a lot since Death Proof, to be honest.
Is that just Event Horizon underwater?
Like the Deepwater Horizon.
Any answer other than an unequivocal yes is going to disappoint me.
Okay. Well, it's actually the reason why I know about it is because it was when my dad was working for Transocean. It was about that big kind of oil rig, like blowing up. So it was which was.
Oh yeah, no, that's Isn't Marky Mark in that?
Yeah, he's in that.
You know, Marky Mark once blinded a person.
Yes.
Never
we were on about this yesterday, I think. Was it me
today.
and you? Or...
It was today.
We were talking about I think we talked about Wesley Snipes and saying how unfair it is that like Wesley Snipes' career's gone down the toilet since the tax thing, and yet Marky Mark can blind a dude and nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
Or that, Danny Trejo can kill someone and nobody cares. But Wesley Snipes doesn't pay his taxes, and suddenly, it's working with him is verboten.
Well, you know what they say, some motherfuckers are always trying to escape from the hill.
One thing I find quite cool about this, which is coming up in a second, is that if you can speak Norwegian, you've pretty much been told the plot of the movie already, because what he does say is to the characters that's like, that is not a dog, that is something else. It's like that's like so basically you've been told the plot already if you speak Norwegian, which I find pretty cool.
The thing is, you can work it out yourself though, can't you? Because you know the premise of the film, so he's not chasing the dog for no reason.
But I mean, if you first see this film back in the day, it was like you probably don't know much about it.
Yeah, but it's about a shape-shifting alien though from the trailer,
I guess.
But yeah, some films do that. I mean, like the biggest culprit is Iron Man, which like if you speak Urdu, which is a really widely spoken language, they pretty much ruin the spoiler. Jeff Bridges is the bad guy. They like spoil that like in the first 5 minutes.
When apart from the fact that the guy looks like
talking, so it's like, okay, well that's ruined it.
I think he just looks like a bad guy.
I think you just mean Jeff Bridges in general looks like a bad guy. Like he's just like a bad person.
Well, they just think of him as a dude, and he's just really chill,
My favourite Jeff Bridges role is quite I can't believe we're talking about Jeff Bridges when we're talking about The Thing, but really quickly, my favourite Jeff Bridges role is a really underappreciated role, and that's Jack in The Fisher King.
That was really good when you showed that to me.
So he plays it so well. It's such a sensitive portrayal. I think it's brilliant. Now,
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of don't like the way that like. I mean, you needed it, but like the guy just slipped, dropped the grenade. One guy tried to put it out.
It's kind of cheesy, obviously.
Yeah.
But,
also, shouldn't he wasn't there a whole bunch of grenades in the back of the? Yeah,
it should have probably gone up a bit more than that. Isn't this one of Carpenter's more? Is this actually Carpenter's most expensive film?
It possibly is because it was 15 million. Was the
for a horror
budget.
movie? That is a large budget.
I mean, like I will. As I've got my trusty phone here, I will have a wee look through this. As a director,
I'm not sure if it's because we know what's going on, but wouldn't you be a bit more suspicious of a guy running around trying to shoot a dog? Or wouldn't you be like, maybe the dog's got like some disease or something on it?
The guy's behaviour though, like you would probably assume he'd gone mad out there.
Possible. Oh yeah, because there was
space dementia.
Yeah, space dementia. Yeah. I know there's like some supposed to be madness if you hang out in the snow too long or something like that.
Just speaking of John Carpenter in general, he's done so many amazing films. Like, you've got things like Escape from New York. You've got this. You've got Assault on Precinct 13. The 13.
They Live as well.
And They Live. And
you still haven't seen In the Mouth of Madness, have you?
No, I haven't.
Well, guys, we want to do announce this now if I haven't announced it already. We want to do another one of these sort of commentary podcast things called Nothing But Neil, where we just do Sam Neill movies.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, you can't find a copy of In the Mouth of Madness on DVD or something. I'm pretty sure.
No, it is out on DVD.
Is it?
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon. It's just a bit of a pain to get. Like, it's not on Prime, so you have to wait a while.
Last time I fucking checked to get a DVD of it because I like that movie.
What a man! Look at him on his roller skates. Masculine.
Nice little pink wheels.
Actually, his most expensive movie thus far is Big Trouble in Little China. It was 25 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
For anyone who doesn't know, this is part of what's like the Apocalypse trilogy.
Because there's this Prince of Darkness, which I didn't like. I think it's quite scary, but also mostly boring. Like, it has moments that are really creepy.
Like the thing where it's like, oh, this anti-god or something like that.
Like, it was creepy, but
and he's a slime.
It seemed so cheap. Like,
isn't like the only sign you see of anti-god or something like that, and it's just like a big hairy hand or something.
Yeah, and In the Mouth of Madness as well. I think
which is an unappreciated.
I love.
It's possibly the best Lovecraft movie
that has nothing to do with H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, it's really good though. It's got a great cast aside from the woman.
Yeah, she's.
Just actually, now that I went through all of his movies that he's done, his most expensive movie was actually Escape from LA. That's 50 million to make that.
Yeah.
And
did that bomb Escape from LA?
Escape from LA did bomb at the box office.
Really, with all that slam dunk in action.
Yeah, it only grossed 42 million.
Ouch.
So like worldwide, and even that film he did, Village of the Damned, that remake of Village of the Damned that he did,
was that him?
Yeah, and the vampires, they cost more than this film.
Really? Because this, honestly, to me, looks a lot more expensive than those films.
Yeah. So, I mean, just
I guess this
depends
is
how you make
great.
your money,
Yeah,
really.
great example of how where to spend your money, and The Thing spends its budget well. And
Yes.
this to me looks like, even though $15 million is quite a lot for a horror film, this looks like more than $15 million to me.
Well, considering that he only spent about, I think he didn't even spend $1 million on Halloween.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but in terms of the size of the cast, like the set location, in fact, it's got helicopters in it, explosions, the special, all the gore effects and alien effects.
I mean, and paying Kurt Russell because
Is
he was
that
big at this point.
Kurt Russell was a movie star at the time. Although I probably didn't charge as much as he normally would.
No.
Because I understand he had a very good relationship with John Carpenter.
Definitely. I mean, he was in at least 3 or 4 of his movies.
I think he's in Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
This and the 2 Escape movies. He may have been in more John Carpenter films.
Yeah, he might have. But I just realised when I was looking there that he did do Assault on Precinct 13, and I just realised, because I mean, I really do love that film, and I just realised that, and I mean, it just makes sense now that I know that.
So obviously we're not talking much about The Thing, but at this point in the film not much is happening. We're just building a bit of tension, introducing the characters and their relationships and things like that. I've got to say I like the cast. It's a large cast, but I do like them.
They're very distinct. They're not.
Everyone's got their own personality in this movie, and that's really cool. Because like another film I saw that had a cast like this size was the remake of Dawn of the Dead, and I didn't give a shit about anyone or really was able to identify a single character trait of anyone except for Ving Rhames was a bit of a dick. Like, God, that was a boring film.
Yep.
See, I've never seen that one. I've only seen the original.
The original's so good. There's so many cuts of the original, kind of like with Evil Dead. There's just so many cuts of Dawn of the Dead. It's hard to find the right cut of the movie.
Oh, as we were saying earlier, this is part of the Apocalypse trilogy. So those who who haven't seen it, spoilers that apparently what's supposed to happen at the end is essentially the end of the world. But that doesn't happen because they make a game which is supposed to be the canonical ending.
Yeah, they make a video game of the Thing. Now, if you haven't heard of the Thing PlayStation or Xbox game, don't worry, nobody played it.
Yeah,
like you and I played it for a live stream, like for a laugh, and it wasn't funny. Like it was just bad. Like it was really poor. Like we were trying to like make jokes and have a good time with the audience, but it was such a shit game.
If you want to, know anything about it, go find the Spoony One's review of it. At least he made that funny.
And fuses.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's what the game is. People throwing up and then you fix fuse boxes. It's so boring.
The final thing in the game is essentially just a giant tentacle that you fly around in a helicopter and shoot explosive barrels that shoot flame at it. I mean, that's how you end this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
The most generic, like X-Files ass story as well.
Yeah, the government.
That's a nice shot with the shadow there.
Actually,
the dog goes in with him
and bums him.
It kind of suggests he's going to get infected. It's really nice.
There's an X-Files episode in the first season of the X-Files, and it's called Ice, and it's got it's kind of like a bottle episode.
My name isn't Ernie anymore, Gemma. It's Ice.
Anyway, and it involves like Mulder and Scully having to go to this kind of area in I think it wasn't like the Arctic or the Antarctic, and there's some form of it's basically the plot of The Thing, but it's and it's a really interesting one. But it just, I mean, obviously took so much inspiration from this.
Well, The Thing is based on the short story Who Goes There, isn't it? Which is a shape-shifting monster. In fact, he does. He adapts short stories. I mean, They Live is based on a short story called I can't remember what it's called. It's something like 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I can't remember what the title of the story. I read it. It was quite boring in comparison to They Live.
I mean,
is it like, because I think I might have read, it's either a short story, because I remember reading a short story, I can't remember who it was by, but it was basically people walked some guy was walking down the street, and the first time he noticed all these signs are different, and he goes to point out, and then he's killed.
Well, no, what happens in this story is a guy is woken up from hypnotherapy. Like, well, not hypnotherapy, excuse me, public hypnotism, for like some hypnotist in a theatre. And he wakes up and he notices that some of the people there are, lizards with like a third eye in the middle of their forehead instead of people. And like they basically figure out he figures out that there are these reptiles living among us. Which it wasn't particularly interesting. It was a cool idea, but it wasn't particularly interesting. But the film They Live does it really well, and I like that they're more ghoulish than reptilian as well. They change.
They're weird skeletal.
Yeah, they make them very ghoulish, like rotting corpses. Because I think like the reptile thing's been kind of played out, like people, So also, we should point out that there's a prequel to this movie made where things like that axe embedded in the door. It kind of shows you everything leading up to this moment.
Unfortunate shit.
It's not a good film. The coolest thing about it was that on YouTube, and I'll plug this channel because I love it, the channel Studio ADI, who did all the practical effects. The practical effects weren't used in the final film. They were covered with CGI. Not because they were bad, but because the producers freaked out at how, quote, 80s they were. But if you go to Studio ADI's channel and check out their special effects for The Thing 2011, they're brilliant. They're so realistic.
It's so fantastic.
And they've got several videos about it because they did so much work on it, and it makes you wonder about the film that could have been.
Because The Thing 2011 is not very good. I didn't.
No, I mean the story's not that great, and like the Thing doesn't act like a smart creature like it does in this one. It seems very clever in this movie, whereas it just seems like a monster in the prequel.
Yeah.
But the special effects alone could have really done wonders for that.
Yeah, I mean, like the first shot of the film is it's in a flying saucer, so it could fly a ship.
Yeah, like we know it's not a dumb animal. Some people speculate that it's not flying the ship, but
it's like a prison ship.
Yeah, it's like a prisoner being transported somewhere.
That's very macabre.
Yeah, like the frozen blood is.
I
Really
mean,
cool.
it seems like something that's so dangerous that you wouldn't want to transport it unless it's into the sun.
Yeah.
So, like, apparently the guy that created the special effects for this movie, Rob Bottin, he was only 22.
Yeah.
He kind of, like, one of his first projects, and it's just like
It's incredible.
Uh-huh.
I heard that when he worked so tirelessly on the effects, because obviously you could shoot a lot of that second unit like without the actors and things, like the close-ups and stuff. He spent so long on it and such grueling days that he had to check into hospital for exhaustion the moment principal photography wrapped. Mm-hmm. Because he was in the hospital for days from exhaustion. Mm-hmm. What a fucking trooper!
I know.
But it was well worth it. I mean, God, I mean, he put himself through hell, but the proof is in the pudding when the special effects start kicking off later on in the movie. They're show stealing. You know, that's what you
Spoiler.
Because the thing is, like, as good as the film is, and as good as the cast are, and as good as the sense of paranoia and dread are in this film, what you ultimately walk away from remembering is the special effects.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of these things like one of those films that if you cut out the flying saucer and any knowledge of it, it could just be sort of like a weird creep. What's this mystery going on?
Yeah.
And then like it's like Predator. If you cut out a few scenes of when the Predators, it seems like it's just going to be some sort of like Vietnam-esque movie, and then bam, suddenly Alien shows up. An alien.
I like when movies do things like that. I mean, Dusk Till Dawn obviously is a great example of that.
Yeah.
I don't think we're spoiling Dusk Till Dawn. I think everyone's seen it by now. You know,
if you were gonna see it, like there's not a moratorium on it. Was
yeah, like if you were gonna see it, you've seen it by now. But yeah, basically it's just like a generic heist film. You know, these criminals trying to make it over the border, and then wham, vampires.
Yeah, it's like it could like start off like a Tarantino film.
Yeah,
it's like what's in Mexico? Mexicans.
Actually, one of the few performances I really like from Tarantino in that film as well. But we'll talk about Dusk Till Dawn another time.
Yeah.
This is a great set.
Mm-hmm.
This is really good, and this like block of ice here.
The alien jacuzzi.
It's very creepy. Everything feels otherworldly here. You know, it just feels like something's not quite right.
Well, it's one of those things like I would, love to see it for the first time and trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Like, what is this? Have they discovered Frankenstein's monster? Like,
so Gemma just pulled up this really cool piece of trivia. This movie has become part of the culture in Antarctica. It is a long-standing tradition in all British Antarctic research stations to watch The Thing as part of their midwinter feast and celebration held every June, on June 21st every year.
And they ritually slaughter a husky.
That's the part they don't tell you, and then eat it. Yeah.
No, you don't eat it. You get infected. They have to keep the thing spirit away.
I like that line. Is that a man or something? Like it does. Yeah, the skeleton's all wrong.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful scenery.
Yeah, the film looks great. Like the major set of the film is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just a model.
It's real, I think.
I know.
Reality. It's not because quite often, obviously, we talk about miniatures. Cause a lot of these kind of movies, you know, horror films, they don't have the kind of budget this has, and they rely on miniatures. But of course, they actually do it for real in this film, and it looks great.
I just
Smile dog. Frown dog.
Vacant stare dog. I think that would be.
What?
Dog's just thinking about some like food.
Yeah.
Cats.
Yeah. Why can't there be any nice lady dogs around
It's
here?
like,
It's just dudes.
Can we watch Bones tonight? It's like I don't think that show is about what you think it's about. So yeah, talk about the special effects. This is brilliant, isn't it? It's nice that we don't jump straight into an actual alien that's alive. You know, we have a corpse. Is the first time we see we get an idea of the horror to come.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Carpenter's really good at that.
Yeah.
And it's so squishy, isn't it? Like the fact there's smoke coming off it and everything. It's so
still
unpleasant.
juicy.
Mm-hmm.
I like how even these like men of science are creeped out.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Well, that's the thing with these type of films nowadays, like the really bad ones. They always have the scientists be like, right, okay, let's get to work, as if like that doesn't faze them in any way. Where it's actually
or they approach it in a weird way, like what's it called, Prometheus?
Yeah.
The scientist in that.
Oh god, I didn't understand how like a scientist gets creeped out by a decapitation in that film, and then is like, you know, this obviously poisonous snake. He's like, hey, check this.
I'm gonna. You want a kiss?
Yeah.
Wow! This was so avoidable.
That's a great thing with the two faces melding together. They do that in the in the prequel, don't they? But it looks really shitty. Again, they had a really cool puppet that looked real, and for some reason they covered it in CG.
Well, see that face? It reminds me of the screaming face in from the Pink Floyd, the screaming face.
Yeah.
For the wall.
That's a great album.
Yes.
I love this guy's name is Windows. Like, what a stupid fucking name. They've got a lot of them got Windows, Knowles and Childs.
Like Windows. Next, still have one in the new one, Microsoft.
Apple. I'm Linux.
Linux. Linux. Shut up, Linux. Nobody asked you.
Steve Jobs there.
Sit in the corner.
Maybe it's some sort of shape-shifting alien. Shut up, Linux. No one cares what you have to say. If we just we can no, shut up.
That's gross.
I know. It's great though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fantastic. But... So this is when you talk about body horror, it's that fear of infection and something not right with your own body.
That's why I love body horror so much.
Well, I think it's like this is considered to be one of the kind of the first
benchmark
real
ones.
Yeah, from the first real body horror films.
After like Eraserhead.
Yeah. I mean, Eraserhead has body horror tendencies and see with the baby and things.
Yeah.
But this film is really about like infection and disease of the body.
Yeah, because Videodrome came out a year after this as well. So.
Well, Cronenberg is the real master of it because he was we'll talk about Cronenberg more on a video.
Like The Fly when we do that.
Yeah, but
really Cronenberg it up.
Oh yeah, spoiler, we're not recording these in sequence. Yeah, I love Videodrome. He was a doctor or a surgeon, wasn't he? A surgeon before he was a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I think like my favourite things in Videodrome is the cancer gun.
Yeah, but he shoots the guy and then he's died and then he just keeps on growing.
Yeah.
That is an obscenely large joint.
Yes.
Like, could you imagine not getting high in the middle of a?
No, I'm not saying they shouldn't be smoking pot. What I'm saying is like in real life, like. I don't know what kind of circles John Carpenter hangs around in, but I don't think
fucking hardcore
I don't
ones.
think I've seen one like that before.
Like, you said he is a surgeon. Like, don't like doctors have a massive suicide rate.
No,
this cut stops them.
No, that's David Cronenberg that was a surgeon.
Who was that?
This is John Carpenter movie.
Or so maybe he just really likes to get high.
I feel bad for.
What if this alien could like be a dog, but it's not really a dog? It like fucks you up.
It was a shame that the last film that John Carpenter did, it was called The Ward, and it had and it's really not that good. It tries, and I just feel really bad because it's like you've came so far.
This is a really really nice moment.
It is.
Where like the dog does not fit in with the other dogs, and they know. Because obviously
he's the ugly duckling.
Dogs have this kind of like they say some sort of extra sense, don't they?
Well, they could just you could smell that it's not a dog.
Yeah, maybe, but it's whatever it is that it's never made clear what causes it, but. He's certainly not made to feel welcome by the other dogs. You know. I like that he just sits there in the centre as well. I mean, the other dogs, they ignore him for the most part, but they don't come and like play with him or introduce themselves, you know?
Barely acknowledge
That is a really creepy dog, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now he's going to make some friends. He's got the shifty eyes, that dog.
Yeah.
What you looking at,
yeah,
bitch?
Now the dogs are starting to freak out. They know something's wrong. Oh, shit, son. And then all of a sudden the shit just hits the fan. Like, it just goes so over the top.
There's a very not well dog. He's super poorly.
He's not well. He's very not well.
Quick, fetch the medicine.
Massive poorliness.
That's disgusting.
It's changing its body from the inside out, and that's one ugly puppy.
There's just something very, very wrong with that, isn't there? Just to look at, like, it just makes you uncomfortable.
Spider dog. Spider dog.
Well, I think it was you who told me, like, most people feel uncomfortable around spiders naturally. So.
Yeah. It's true. Even people who aren't arachnophobic still feel it, unless they're sort of like freaks already into spiders. No offense to anyone who's into spiders, but generally people feel a natural discomfort around spiders. And obviously this film has a couple of moments where the thing grows like very similar legs to a spider.
Could you close the window because the glare's
Yeah, sure.
I like to think that maybe if he didn't open up the cage, if he had just left the, if he just closed it, they would have. It couldn't have escaped.
Doesn't it try to escape through the ceiling though?
Nope, it just can't figure out how to. It keeps going for the latch, can't get it properly. Like, oh, we've got an alien. Huh? We should sell it to Vegas. So it's Siegfried and Roy and Thing.
I love this moment. I don't know what the hell's in there, but it's weird and pissed off.
Weird and pissed off.
How many dogs do you think it killed? Because like only 2 of them ran out and they were. Did you just have to get the flamethrower?
Yeah.
Like, why is there a flamethrower on this base? Luckily there is, but
Maybe to melt some ice.
Yeah, it's probably what it's used for. I can't imagine it's there as a weapon. That is so scary.
Yep.
it's got some intestine or umbilical cord looking.
I thought everyone stops talking.
Yeah.
Again, this keeps happening with these movies. Something really cool happens and you just...
Like, I think he was doing it a favour.
And I was just like, yeah, don't kill the dog. It's like, do you really want that thing to be alive?
I like it. It shows you. It shows you everything you need to know about the thing in this scene as well. Like you see it adapting here. Like it does what it needs to do to escape, and it grows a pair of arms.
I just love how it's Keith David that's in this, and now he's quite famous.
Yeah, there's a lot of voices now, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things is I keep forgetting his name is Keith David and keep calling him David Anderson because of Mass Effect.
That's disgusting. The way it opens up. That's a very kind of body horror moment where it opens up and everything's all tendons, but they're all green and yellow and the colours they shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's that kind of... The film has this kind of diseased look to it.
I mean, that was a really good scene, but you know what would have made it better? If Keith David and Roddy Piper were fighting in an alley.
One of the best fist fights of all time, that fight. I love it because it's just so relentless.
Mm-hmm.
Put on the damn glasses.
There's so much like I think when you get woke, as they say, that scene is so indicative because it's not just funny. The frustration of I think I said frustration. Excuse me. The frustration of him trying to get him to put the glasses on and just see the world for what it is so difficult. You know what I mean? It takes him such a long time, and I think that's that happens to people. You know, when you have your friends who just watch the mainstream media and stuff like that. That's so much like how that feels. Now back
Wake
to
up, sheeple.
Yeah, now back to the thing. I mean, like
If you call people sheeple without being like
you,
comically ironic,
yeah,
you're a
to be
douche.
fair, you've lost all credibility when you call someone you say sheeple.
Mm-hmm.
Sherson.
A sheeple Sherson.
I'm trying to remember how the infection sort of works. It's been a while, and I've seen a bunch of other
Well,
similar.
It assimilates.
It assimilates you and then copies you, basically. So you disappear.
So it eats you. So it's like a virus that infects.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get it from various other things like prototype and stuff like that.
Yeah, it kind of kills you. It literally
Eats you.
kills you
Yeah.
and just takes over your body as if I'm trying to think.
Destroys the original body and makes a copy.
It's got kind of the same quality as kind of some kind of wasps that they have. That there's some like wasps that you can get that actually like
that you can get. You can go out and buy them.
Yeah, down at Argos.
There's a kind of wasp that impregnate that impregnates spiders. Like
and mind controls them,
and literally does that. And the spiders like the baby spiders, like they come out like they're born and they take over the spider from the inside.
Yeah, like these people who talk
you
about.
Just ruined my fucking day with that information.
I'm so sorry.
No, you didn't know this. Like there's like people who talk about like how mankind is inherently evil and the animal kingdom's better. I don't remember the last time hearing about someone laying a baby in the back of someone's neck and then mind controlling them to look after it.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously getting taken over by a bunch of baby spiders.
Yeah.
There's like that parasite that makes ants like climb trees to be eaten and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
the insect kingdom's fucked up.
And
I hate you, insect kingdom.
It's best not to think about it, really.
And then you've got like the kind of
or live in a country where you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
And then you've got the cordyceps, which got the inspiration from The Last of Us. Like was
The,
the inspiration for The Last of Us.
Yeah, those fungus growing things.
Yeah.
I like how they keep implying that there's something wrong with the dog handler.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers, there isn't. But I really like the way.
No, there is. He likes dogs too much.
Yeah, he's just a bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's just a bit upset and traumatized. But he's actually
because his friends, his pets have just.
But he's not actually infected.
Well, this wouldn't be a great film for people that really like dogs. Basically,
I think the best film if you like dogs is John Wick.
Oh,
too soon.
Too soon.
Poor Harambe 2.
No, what I'm saying is because that's a film that shows you it's not okay to kill a dog.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Not John Wick's dog.
You kill Keanu Reeves. Not even John Wick, just Keanu Reeves, the actor. You kill his dog, he'll slaughter the entire Russian mafia.
It's like it's Keanu Reeves. Oh shit.
I'm trying to think of there was basically John Wick but with Denzel Washington.
Was it Man on Fire?
Yeah.
No, it's The Protector or something like that. It was more recent. It was basically because I saw it with Nathan. And it was basically this is a John Wick but with a black guy.
See all this footage of of the old team just to me shows that there was no need to make a prequel. We get all the information about the prequel as we need.
Mm-hmm.
It's also one of those things you coming in you everyone's gonna die, so why bother remembering anyone's name? I really love fucking Bernie. Bernie was so good. Oh, why did Bernie have to die? Not Bernie. He had a full life ahead of him.
Yeah.
Well, I was just having a look at some trivia here. Is that according to John Carpenter in an interview, he takes all of his failed movies pretty hard, and this was the one that disappointed him the most. Not only was the movie a box office failure upon release, but both critics and the audience, to Carpenter's shock, panned its gory effects and bleak tone. He was particularly upset when the original movie's director, Christian Nibby, publicly denounced Carpenter's version, saying, "If you want blood, go to the slaughterhouse. All in all, it's a terrific commercial for J&B Scotch." I mean, how can you talk about a film like that?
It's such a masterpiece as well. I think it came out at a bad time. I mean, this was around about the same time as about a year or two after E.T.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it's the same year.
Or same year. Mm-hmm. So, but it was later on in the year, I'm sure, because the audiences wanted cuddly aliens.
Yeah.
They wanted Close Encounters. They wanted E.T.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want a movie about they didn't want it because the bleak tone you were saying. No, there was one review that referred to Carpenter himself as a pornographer of violence.
What?
Now that is so harsh.
Especially when you look at stuff like Saw and crap like
the base gore porn. Yeah, and you think, no, this is actually an interesting film with a lot to say.
Yeah, Saw 3 definitely doesn't have that.
Oh, I just came up with this. It's there is a character named Mac and another named Windows. Since the film was made in 1982, this is purely coincidental.
Samuel Linux.
The butt monkey of the group. The Toby of the group. That's a great map painting, isn't it?
Yes. Oh my god, that is beautiful.
There's also Barry Independent Operating System.
Mm-hmm.
He was very strange.
Steve Android. Was he an android? No, he was human. Tom Smith was the android.
Steve was from space. Yeah, this also came out the same year as Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really. That film is. I mean, it's similar. It's got a similar bleak tone to that.
It's dark, I think, and sad, but I mean, I think this is apocalyptic.
Yes.
It's also sort of depending on which cut you're watching, could be very confusing. Of like, wait, so what was Decker? Was he a robot or?
I think
Really inefficient, physically ill robot.
Yeah, like so. In order to catch them, he's made this robot. Why? Well, they're not really robots, but you know what I mean.
Replicants.
Yeah. So he's mind wiped it, and also made him old and jaded, and really hates his.
Yeah, he's not like some like young chap who loves killing replicants.
Oh boy, I can't get a boner till I kill a replicant.
It's not like the Crumbopulous Michael of robots, you know.
Mm-hmm.
God rest his soul.
Well, like the feminists will be really upset about this film because there's no female characters whatsoever.
You don't know the alien might be a female.
All the better for it.
Yes.
Like, wait, no, because like you saw that thing open up. That's clearly a vagina. It's clearly a woman.
Hey, Matt, don't assume, all right? Just because you have a vagina doesn't mean you're a woman.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently.
Check your privilege.
I mean, you could be. So you have a dick as well. So you have a mangina.
Well, the thing is, the only female character, kind of, in this film was the chess computer, and it was actually
which
voiced.
he calls a bitch. Yeah.
He calls a bitch, got her drunk, and then killed her.
It was actually voiced by John Carpenter's wife at the time.
This
Adrian
film perpetuates
Barbaro.
rape culture. It's that easy. It's that easy to write a feminist thesis, guys. Go to a university, study gender studies, and get a first class degree because it's that fucking easy.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another reason why this is a masterpiece: black guy doesn't die first,
Spoilers.
or does he?
We'll find out.
I like that the sort of the sort of like pot smoking. I know you see a couple of them smoking weed, but like the pot smoking guy is the one who is really into aliens and conspiracies. I think that's definitely like when you smoke a lot of weed, you definitely start getting into that kind of stuff and
Start watching it on YouTube and
start like watching
about...
those endless YouTube videos you wouldn't have the patience for if you were sober. So it's like 4-hour YouTubes about the reptilian agenda. You're just like, yeah, shit, man, that makes total sense.
And we're just watching it again.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell's got like, I didn't realise he has blue eyes. I've never noticed he had blue eyes before.
You're too busy looking at his beard.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that if the alien tried to take over Kurt Russell, they'd get to his beard and then be rejected. Mm-hmm. It just gets shot across the wall.
There was one thing I liked in the original, not the original, excuse me, the prequel. The one thing I liked was when it copied somebody who had an ear piercing, and his ear was like had no hole in it in the copied version, and that's how the protagonist knew it wasn't him and like burned him alive, basically.
Yeah, that's
kind of cool.
So, because I can't remember.
I think these are the only computer graphic effects in the whole film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is practical.
Does it copy their clothes or does it just steal them? Or
I don't know, because doesn't it like stuff them like they're always covered in blood and stuff and like stuffed in different places?
pretty much, yeah.
So I think it probably copies the clothes somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it just steals the clothes. I don't know. It's been a while since I watched it.
Oh, because if that was the case, you could just like instead of doing the whole thing with the blood later, you go ripped clothes. Oh, your shirt seems to be screaming in pain.
Yeah.
I don't believe you are in fact Romhack, who works down at the bakery.
John Romhack. John Romhack, the baker.
That sounds like
He
a
used to
name,
work-
like
he used to-
Rumac or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad, isn't it? That's fucking... Yeah, but I see what like the critics are saying about the bleak tone, but that's part of what I like about it.
Yeah.
That's part of what makes it a horror film.
That's the thing, it's meant to be
got
horror.
an oppressive atmosphere that's inescapable. Like everything's... like everyone's gonna die, you know?
Unless it turns out that he's weak to like salt water or something like that, or water. Swing away, Meryl. Was it Meryl?
I don't remember.
From where? What?
From fucking what's it called? Signs, where he's like swing away, Meryl. I'm pretty sure the guy had a girl's name for some reason.
I forgot Signs existed.
Well, you were lucky then.
Science has one scene that's almost good. It's when Joaquin Phoenix is watching the tape about the kids' party and the alien shows up. Now, Joaquin Phoenix really sells the horror with his reactions. He's a great actor, but you get this really cheap CG alien. You think, why don't they just use a puppet?
Mm-hmm.
Or a dude in a suit, because it's so humanoid looking anyway.
That's always the thing that you find out that Walter at the at that point it's no longer an invasion. It's like a treat for the kids. Give them some water pistols and tell them to go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
They're only dangerous if they get you with their smelly finger.
That was a bad film.
I told you the apparently Shyamalan had a gap. Like no, it's not that they're aliens that are weak to water. They're demons and they're weak to holy water. Because well, that's a voodoo shark,
Yeah.
i.e., retarded.
Voodoo shark.
I've told you about that, haven't I?
It's possible.
The reggae shark.
I think it was the SF Debris guy. A voodoo because he was in the Jaws, the Revenge, the novelization.
Yeah.
They explain why the shark keeps going after that family. It's because they've been placed underneath a voodoo curse.
Right. That's retarded.
Yes, but they never explain why, who, how, or anything else about it.
Brilliant.
So you give an explanation that's more puzzling than the answer.
Yeah, honestly worse than the film version.
Soup.
See that the logic is sound there. You can't burn it because it's a scientific find of the century. But also they know that there's some kind of disease involved because of what happened to the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a difficult position, isn't it?
When it just moves there, that's just
That's
it's not quite dead. Yeah.
Mhm.
Is it just like
It's just
if you get
thawing
infected
out.
by one cell, or does the entire thing need to like wrap around you and eat you, or because I can't quite.
I don't remember. I don't think it's ever made 100% clear. But I think it only takes I think it's very potent. It only takes like a small thing for you to become.
Because once again, it's been a while since I've watched this, and I'm getting like
There's a lot of other films with a similar mythology that came out later.
films, books, other stuff. Like I'm trying to remember like stuff from Prototype. Is that in there? I know it's not, but I mean Prototype is a game that's would be influenced by this. Some guy in a hoodie shows up, like, what are you doing here?
Did you know that the dog thing was created by Stan Winston, but he didn't actually get a credit?
I didn't know that.
No, he didn't want a credit. He just gets a special thank you.
Thank you for all the hard work, sucker.
Well, he probably thought, well, this film's not going to do very good business and he's going to get terrible reviews, but I got a paycheck out of it.
Yeah.
I hope it becomes a cult classic and makes mad bank later.
Well, the thing is, there's more than made its budget back on home video. It's the thing, because it became a classic. Certainly over here in the UK, it was a massive hit on video.
But we aren't pussies like America.
To be fair, you say that, but we banned a lot more movies
Yeah,
than
I
they
know.
ever did.
Yeah, we banned The Evil Dead.
Yeah, I mean, The Evil Dead's so harmless. Like, it's just a movie about demons. Like, it's so stupid.
You know how it
did
was,
have the tree rape though.
Yeah.
We were speaking about Jeff Bridges earlier on. It's sort of relevant because apparently he turned down the role of MacReady, along with Nick Nolte.
I'm glad it went to Kurt Russell. I can't
Yeah.
see anyone but Kurt Russell playing that role.
Yeah.
Like you just walk into the room, you're like, oh fuck.
That blood's a bit too red, isn't it?
It's a bit like strawberry jam.
Have you ever seen when someone gets killed in Yatoichi, and it's just like red acrylic paint?
Well, Zatoichi's is very stylized, though, isn't it? It's not realistic at all.
Just all those tentacles wrapping around that poor bastard.
I like how he just says it's Bennings and they just know. Because there's something so creepy happening. If someone just comes out and says that, they know exactly what he means. Like, it's going to be to do with the...
Like you're saying about the this one where it's actually smart and it starts sabotaging shit and like psyching people out just to be a dick, and then in like the other one it's just...
It just acts like a mindless killing machine, yeah. This is very creepy, I think.
Use the he needs to use the giant syringe to extract blood to see if it's
This is fucking creepy. Look at that face and the way he opens his mouth in a moment as well.
Also the fact that he's so much like the alien is so much of a dick to not like I know try and convince him or something like that.
Yeah.
It's it's still me or anything like that. It's like
it's not finished copying him, is it? So it's like there's nothing I can do.
I came in peace. It was just a whole bunch of hilarious, inexplicable accidents that made me like, oh wait, you don't believe? No, I'm gonna kill you all.
Yeah.
Screw you. I'm everywhere.
My goal is to infect the entire population of the planet.
Because I am kind of a dick. My only weakness is being flown around in a helicopter and shooting me with barrels.
Oh,
There's something sort of interesting. You never get a real motive or anything like that. It's like humans. It's never like humans are parasites. And
no, it's just like, well, that's what this alien does. It spreads. It's a parasitic organism that spreads.
He is a dick.
It's a kind of a we were talking about earlier the hive mind. I think that was during the Dracula thing. We were talking about Scotland, but we've got the Dracula commentary.
That's the thing. Like, is it confirmed that he's like a hive mind? So, or do each piece has like a?
I think it's sort of a little of both. Like each piece will individually try to save itself because that's what happens with the blood, and when they do the blood test. But it is effectively still one. It's sort of one super consciousness and little bits that are kind of.
You know what I really like about this film, from the
many
many
dancing.
other things, is that the characters aren't stupid.
Yeah.
Like they aren't like that way where like they don't have like excuses for the reasons they do things.
Yeah,
like,
let's split up to cover more ground.
Yeah,
it's not like Prometheus, like Matt was saying. Yeah,
but so they're all like they all really are trying the hardest for this thing to not try to not like.
There was a scene where a guy turns out to be infected because he decided to take a piece as a souvenir or to sell it or something like that.
Yeah.
The government wants to weaponize this.
Yeah, there's no
like that comes in the game.
There's no guy who steals the raptor eggs,
Yeah.
I fucking hate that in well, basically anything where it's like we want to weaponize this living thing.
I'm like, that's a terrible idea. You choose a weapon.
Yeah,
weapons are so advanced in the modern age. You never need to weaponize an animal.
Like basically aliens with the fact that with the
everything to do with like the Alien series after the first movie, pretty much.
Yeah. Like, that's every single I'm pretty sure every single game was the same. Or the humans always like there's always some guys who want to weaponize. Why? Because like. A gun won't turn around and try and eat your face.
Yeah, we'll drop a bunch of xenomorphs on the enemy, and then, well, I guess they'll all tie themselves out if they've killed our enemies.
They'll be all tuckered out. We can just sweep them back into their cage.
Yeah. Because again, with Jurassic World, wasn't there? Like, oh, let's weaponize the raptors for military. No, don't do that. That's a shit idea.
So that would just mean
shit film.
So I mean, it worked for like the first time. It was, oh shit, they've dropped dinosaurs on us, and then they get better guns and they'll shoot the dinosaurs.
But also, it's like you say, like when you drop a dangerous animal, like breeding creature, on a population, they're just going to stop when they've killed your enemies.
We sending Chris Pratt to like challenge him to a dance-off or something.
Actually, if they'd had Chris Pratt in this movie, the alien would have just left. Like, well, I can't contend with that charisma. I'll just leave through the ceiling with my creepy arms.
My home planet needs me.
With Chris Pratt and his charisma of a bourbon biscuit.
Summed in attack mode.
I've always said this about Chris Pratt. Like, he constantly looks like he's really happy to be famous. Like he never expected it. Like he was just working in home base.
It's like, you there, me? Yeah, you want to be Star-Lord? Don't know who that is, but okay.
Like he just looks like he's so happy to be there. Yeah. Like, I'm a celebrity apparently. How did that happen?
He took a bite of gum. Little known fact about Chris Pratt is he can stretch his arms.
He's made of rubber. Chris Pratt, king of the pirates. Man, fucking poor Wilford Brimley hasn't got his insulin. Original joke. Get it? Because he has diabetes.
Diabetes.
It was going to happen eventually, guys. We were going to make a diabetes joke. No joke is beneath us, you know?
But no...
The way that they're all carrying fear of Walter Brimley.
Yeah. That's another thing that's realistic, is they are cowering in fear while a guy with an axe is smashing shit up and raving, because you would cower in fear at that.
But for one time, it's like a guy with an axe raving. On the other hand, it's Walter Brimley. Like, it probably balances itself out and you just hit him with a steel chair or something. Keith David, go in there and like fight him.
What? Yeah, just
fight him. I don't have anything.
And once again, it's a scene by scene remake of the fight.
It's like I have no weapons.
Operation Human Shield.
I just want every single time Keith David is in a fight, it just to be the same one from They Live.
I love he just brought a table. I first saw that guy with the curly hair in Dante's Peak. He's a lot older there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I barely remember Dante's Peak, other than, again, sorry to always bang on about miniature effects and these things, but it's something I'm interested in. That film had some quality miniature effects in it.
It did.
Seriously, look, he's like, his fucking rage is giving him super strength. And Kurt Russell just jumps in there, starts beating him down. Lights out.
Poor Windows. That's his name. He's called Windows. Oh, and he's been badly beaten.
Wait, is Windows his first or last name?
I don't know. I assume it's his last name, but nobody.
I hope it's his first name.
Nobody ever calls him by any other name.
I'm hoping that it's a nickname and that nobody is unfortunate to have the last name Windows. unless his first name is Windows and his last name is 10.
98.
Kill yourself
X.
immediately.
You want to be edgy during high school, so let's go right X. Something Windows X.
Windows Vista.
He runs a delivery service. It's called X Gonna Give It To You.
Is there a scene where it goes like, so you killed the dog? Yeah, it wasn't an alien. Feel like a dick now, do you?
Just stay in here till you're not mad. We'll be back in like a week.
Yeah.
We'll do a psychological test.
Yeah. Put on some Ritalin.
These some pills. And if you're still mad in a week, we'll give you a test. Creepypasta jokes, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, from my experience with the game, people have not been throwing up nearly enough.
No, and there haven't been enough fuse boxes
Yeah.
either.
They should really just test them
And
with
there
those
hasn't
giant
been
4 pints of...
hasn't been a blood test where they take a pint of blood.
It's almost as if the game has nothing to do with the film.
Oh god, it was awful. It's supposed to be the official sequel, and it was just Kenza.
Mm.
It's like a cross between Cancer and Kinder Surprise.
Yeah.
So
it's just like horrible
to get a
pain
tumour, but
and
it's got a toy.
disappointment.
It's the tumour with a toy in it.
Just open up that yellow thing, and it's I've got cancer now.
To be honest, that's not much more disappointing than the taste of a Kinder Surprise and the substandard fucking toy you get in the middle, which is never the toy advertised. Oh sweet, I can get a Power Ranger. No, it's a build it yourself car.
Yeah. It's like Makana. It's like a little Lego person, but made shitty.
That is not compatible with my Legos. Yeah, there's a website where you can have make Lego figures of yourself to play with your Lego.
That's sad. Making it of
No,
other
it's
people,
awesome.
of yourself.
It doesn't have to be of yourself.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I was going to say other people.
Because I've been
or other
thinking
things,
it'd be a really good birthday present for my friends, to make them little Lego versions of themselves.
and have them in Lego 6 dungeon.
Because you'd spend about the same as you'd spend on a close friend's birthday present anyway. Because they can totally probably be about £25 for because you have to custom build them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about what you'd spend on a close friend's birthday anyway.
Yeah,
So I think it's a nice thing to do.
I think it's nice.
I think it's a
You
terrible
can make the
thing.
thing Lego, man. Really inappropriate.
It's like all these weird pieces. You just have to they had to melt a bunch of different things.
I don't know why, but for some reason I think they
It's like
did
some
make a thing Lego for
There's
some
no
reason.
way they did, Gemma. That's a thing you made up. That is a fevered dream. There is no way
It's a dream indeed.
this grotesque
Dream for the future.
film had a Lego set made out of it. I mean, if there was, it was an independently produced thing. It wasn't it didn't have a Lego written on the box. Just
Like next to Lego Star Wars and Lego
Smith's
Pirate of the
Toys,
Caribbean.
Lego the Thing. Got Lego Human Centipede. They've got little clips on their mouths to plug them to the arses of the other
I'm
ones.
trying to think of more inappropriate like Lego Toxic Avenger. But then again, they did make a cartoon about that.
They made a cartoon of everything in there. There probably was a
90s and
Saturday
80s,
morning
yeah.
cartoon of this.
Yeah, but the things on their side, they got, I don't know, they'd have a cute animal or something.
Okay, this is how clear the Blu-ray is versus the DVD. I never noticed that the Doctor had a pierced nose on the DVD. So it's some kind of bionicle the thing. Yeah, there is Lego the Thing, but it's unofficial, obviously.
Yeah,
Something somebody's made.
I know.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
It's that Pingu the Thing. Okay, why stop it? The people at home are going to be jealous that they're not looking at the same Google images as us.
Pretty much. There we go.
Just the thing. Yeah, just Lego Man on fire.
You're saying about the whole Pingu, the thing that made me start thinking of like what other like frozen, places settings they think could have been, and then I thought of like the opening of Avatar instead of finding
instead of finding Aang, they find the thing. Just like it's not children's cartoon and two people going down, going on a little canoe, and then it's just like, don't open that sphere, we don't know what's in there, and it's just like a horrible monster.
And the only people who
Tara
survive
goes back to the village, all and tries to blend in with the other.
the only people who survive are the Fire Nation. So they win in the end.
Because they're the only ones who can stop it with the fire.
Yeah.
And the Fire Nation conquer the world, but are basically heroes because they get rid of the thing.
I was there was this thing that was this big it was like if you look from a certain angle, the Fire Nation are the good guys in the story of Avatar. It's like they're the ones trying to make the world more prosperous and stuff like that. It's one of those I'm not sure what you call them, theories or something like that, but the same thing happened with Lord of the Rings. Like, because Mordor's supposed to be the economic I forgot what you call it, because they're the only one who's going forward and everyone else is.
I feel really bad for this guy. I can't remember the character's name, but
Can you remember anyone else's name other than Window? He stands out.
Window Childs.
so Norris, Blair, McCready, Windows, Childs, Knowles,
And there's Fuchs.
Fuchs. Yeah,
Fuchs.
Which one's Fuchs? Is that him with the, or is that's Clark? Isn't it the guy with the flannel shirt?
I haven't bothered to remember anyone's names.
Palmer's the one you don't remember.
Palmer, yeah. I feel really bad for Palmer because like everyone suspects him. Like he's just kind of like the
Butt monkey.
yeah,
the Toby of the group.
Yeah, he's the Toby of the group.
I mean, if we were like, if we're ever in those situations, are we like Toby?
Toby, you're the thing, aren't you?
Yeah. They're like, no.
Just burn him living now. Like, don't even bother with the test.
Toby, would you want to sleep with this mattress? And he goes, yes. Well, that sounds like something Toby would say, but burn him just in case.
That is actually how we test if Toby was human, wouldn't we? Just be like, hey, Toby, would you have sex with this live pig? Yes, I would.
Would you absorb it afterwards? No, I just spoon it. No, Toby's
it's
okay.
Toby. It's Toby. It's fine. It's not some kind of freakish monster. It's just degenerate Toby.
the thing's like, ew. Would you Toby? Would you sleep with a thing? Yes, I would. And then it was like, ugh,
gross.
Burn that guy.
I like this scene as well. Like when they're
was talking smack
Like-
about Toby.
talking smack about the women he's
part
had
of
sex
this.
with as well. We're not saying all the women he's had sex with are gross pigs, just some of them.
I wasn't implying that. I was just saying he's a
Just like he
deviant.
would fuck a pig, yeah. I like this scene because it kind of like, you know that some of them are human, but not all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like at least one of them's the thing, but it's not going to come out of hiding if it could be killed. And again, that's not, it's smart, you know.
I want to see the twist ending where it turns out the planet's already been taken over and everyone's just like, no one knows. The planet's been taken over years ago. Like, are you a thing? I'm not a thing. Are you a thing? Like, we're all things. Oh, well, this invasion seems redundant. Well, turn up to the party late, asshole.
I think this is Mars, right? No, you idiot. Oh,
The
see, I was going to Mars.
There's like how Childs has just got the flamethrower in the background there.
His name's Keith David.
He just plays Keith David, doesn't he? It's just reverse giraffe.
I love that.
This tape appears in the game, in the Thing game, but they couldn't get the rights to use Kurt Russell's voice, so somebody else records his dialogue.
Then it should have not been made then.
Basically, that was a piece of shit.
There's apparently meant to be a 4-part miniseries of The Thing in 2003 on Sci-Fi Channel, but nothing came of it.
I'm kind of
the
glad
Sci-Fi-
it didn't happen
Because it
in
had
a
been
way.
made on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, but I mean it might have been.
And since they
fun,
changed-
at least.
Like since this way the Sci-Fi Channel changed its name to the Sci-Fi Channel.
I think you said dyslexic took over the station.
I wish that was the only answer. I can only imagine it's like, no, we need to be hip. What's more hip than the letter Y?
The letter X? Quiet, madman!
This isn't the 90s. X is so 90s. It's all about the Y's now. Like
All
yellow.
about the Y chromosomes.
Oh my god, Sci-Fi Channel's sexist confirmed.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the helicopter pilot is all he does. That's his job.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it is a very specific, like, specialty skill, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a scientist and a helicopter pilot.
Is that Fuchs?
Yes.
It's quite a large cast. It's hard to keep track of everyone's name, but yeah, they do have.
I'm not even bothering to remember. Like their faces are all distinct, so it's not like in a horror movie where they all blend together.
Yeah, like
but their names are still there. It's like when you just watch any sort of slasher movie. It's like unless they're radically different.
Yeah, it's where you get a lot of these teenagers who are just like meat-headed jocks and like bimbos.
They're either interchangeable within their own movie, or at the very least they're fucking the genre.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I like Cabin in the Woods so much. We'll talk more about that when we do the Cabin in the Woods commentary.
Spoilers.
Spoilers were Cabin in the Woods would have already been on when this is released, I think.
Yeah.
Just spoilers. We're not recording them in sequence.
Yeah.
But because we have to wait when guests are available for certain episodes, but who want to do those episodes with us. But yeah, Cabin in the Woods does that really well. I think like the way it plays on the stereotype of like the stoners and the jock and
Yeah, it's basically like a love-hate to the genre, basically.
Yeah. Well, the thing is as well is like it kind of questions that why would they be friends? Why would these people be friends? But like they even addressed that with like the stoner being like, oh, when did he ever pull this alpha male bullshit before? Mm-hmm. It's like it's because they're being manipulated by like, the chemicals and stuff like that.
Yeah, because like, one of them dyes her hair blonde and stuff.
Yeah.
And then she gets progressively dumber.
I didn't like Cabin. I haven't actually seen it, but I heard the ending of it, and I was sort of like, I don't really like sort of that sort of. But then someone explained as well, if it takes place in the SCP universe, which it sort of almost seems to us, that makes perfect sense. Then goes, right, the ending makes sense because it doesn't sort of.
Yeah, I kind of like.
Not without spoiling it, but
that film kind of reminds me of the Institute from Buffy.
Yeah,
especially because Joss Whedon was the initiative. That's it. Especially because Joss Whedon was involved.
Yeah.
That sexist bastard.
Like that tangent from Dracula's gonna make its way over here now.
God, it's almost like we recorded the Dracula and the Thing episodes back to back.
I know, right?
But we wouldn't do that.
No, God, we record these in order, obviously.
Yeah, this is why I'm not here for a couple of hours. But I was just thinking about that whole thing with the Institute in Buffy. It's a bit off tangent, but it's like, we should just totally get these demon things we don't really know about and then graft them to a cyborg.
The thing I had with it is it seemed really, really unethical. Like, we'll take vampires, but we'll stick chips in their heads so they can't bite anyone. It takes away their free will. I'm like, and none of the main characters had a problem with that. Like, wow, this seems really unethical and monstrous.
Even Willow didn't have a problem with that.
On the other hand, aren't vampires in Buffy? They're not really people. They're a walking parasite inside a corpse of someone. So fuck them.
The thing is, like, Willow would have her character was like all about how like Thanksgiving was terrible.
Yeah.
And then the same in the same season, it's like, oh yeah, Spike has a chip in his head, no problem with that.
It did seem weird that I thought they were going to take it down the kind of Clockwork Orange path, but like this is actually really monstrous.
Mm-hmm. Like it was like it's Subject 17. I'm a friend of Zender's.
I love that he's got the noose there.
Yes. It's like I'm not going to kill myself today, but just in case.
Not today, old friend.
Always be prepared. The suicide. My diabetes is getting worse. I won't last much longer.
My insulin is not out here. Could you at least bring me my insulin? My pancreas cannot actually create it itself.
It turns out that insulin's the one thing that the monster's allergic to.
Wilfred Brimley saves the day. Do you get it, guys? He's got diabetes. This meme isn't old at all.
If this was I'm just trying to think there were like a point where if this was made, they would have insisted on having a like blatantly weak source weakness for the monster. Like, have you ever seen the Day of the Triffids?
Yes, I've also read the book.
I've read the book and the sequel, well, sort of the other fish. But anyway, like in the Day of the Triffids, which is basically they're plant monsters that kill people.
Mm-hmm.
But in the movie, they find out that their weakness is salt water, and then they thank God by going to church. Which is kind of the exact opposite of what was intended in
War
the
of the
book.
Worlds does that as well, doesn't it? Because, like, in the book, you know, the church is destroyed, and you see, like, how religion is basically useless in a crisis. But in the film, all the people who go and pray in the church live. And, you know, all the...
But they die of radiation sickness from
the commie aliens don't get them because they hide in the American church and pray to their American imperialistic god.
That was in the 1950s one, wasn't it?
By the way, imperialism is good. I'm not saying anything bad about imperialism.
Imperialism, fuck yeah.
British Empire is best empire.
Until we get the...
Actually, Roman Empire was quite a lot better than ours, but...
What did the
We had a
Romans
bigger
ever
one.
done
Yeah,
for
ours was bigger, but, I mean, come on. Theirs was awesome. Look at the helmets, man.
You can also clean your shoes with the helmet off of the helmet.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can stick one up a chimney.
Yeah.
That's what children are for.
That's when Romans had too many children running around. And they kept having sex with them as well.
Just sticking them up chimney.
I was going to say, like, are you sure they had too many children? Because,
They didn't have enough grown-ups to fuck, apparently.
yeah. There were apparently not enough women around, so,
Well, that's what the Greeks did. They just bummed each other constantly.
That's why the Spartans were such a great army. Allegedly.
because they didn't want their boyfriends to die.
They would basically tactically screw, so they would fall in love with each other and not want their...
So, better teamwork and not wanting your lover to...
basically. I mean, there's a strange logic to it, isn't there?
Like, you don't want to your partner to catch a spear from someone unless it's you.
It's weird that they omitted that from 300, though, right?
But all the buggery.
Well, yeah, all the buggery. Like, I would have quite liked to have seen that. You know, Faramir taking up the arse from Dracula. Like, kind of... I'd have been...
It's a fan fiction.
Somebody's written that, surely.
See, the thing
Somebody's
is,
just written like Gerard Butler just hanging out the back of Faramir. It's like...
I mean, love that can never be between the Horse Lord and the King of the Undead.
That whole quote about tonight we'll eat hearty tonight and we'll have a whole different meaning to it. Otherwise,
they're just talking about cock.
Yeah. Or ass, you know.
I mean, if they were like the whole thing where Xerxes is like trying to seduce him or something differently, he's like got his hands on his shoulders, and he just reaches up. No, that's not what I meant at all.
Well, the thing is, in that, even though it was absolute shit, Meet the Spartans pretty much played up the whole gay thing, which.
To be fair, I saw a review of Meet the Spartans, and they said like, you know, all they do is make gay jokes, and then the reviewer said to his co-reviewer, who didn't walk out of 300 making a bunch of gay jokes that were better than all the gay jokes in this film.
Yeah.
No, we're going off on a tangent, but just before we go back onto this, all those movies, they make the most obvious jokes ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't remember the one where it's like, some guy turns into Hulk, and then his trousers rip off. Whoa! Yeah.
Who didn't make that joke when they were 10?
Or like when they did Epic Movie and they had Willy Wonka, where Willy Wonka's a paedophile.
Yeah, like, really? Yeah. Okay, Willy Wonka, because he's got a bunch of kids coming to again, like...
I mean,
I like that the child is quite willing to let, for a moment, he was quite willing to let MacReady freeze to death.
Yeah.
So, child is either an alien or a dick.
But at this point, it's like, we're going to chop this door down and burn you alive, because, you know, we know that you're the thing.
Checkmate, motherfucker.
I just fucking love these two actors so much.
Yeah. See, in Saints Row 4, he becomes your vice president, Keith David.
Yeah. And then they reenact the fight from They Live when Roddy Piper shows up for no reason.
Yep. I need to get that game again.
I've got it on PS3.
Okay.
Should I borrow it?
Sure.
It doesn't. I don't have Get Out of Hell though.
Oh, I did have Get Out of Hell. I'll have to get it another time. I just like how Nathan Fillion...
Don't fuck with... Just say Sam Neill, and don't fuck with Kurt Russell, you daft bastards.
You just don't fuck with Kurt Russell, Sam Neill, anyone
Anyone with
Keanu Reeves.
anyone we
anyone with that
like.
level of beard.
Yeah, anyone with that kind of beard. Yeah, Tormund Giantsbane.
Have you seen that video of him and he's away to shave, but he just literally he's away to take and he literally gets one haircut off. He's like, that's me done.
This is coming up now is one of the most incredible
arousing
sequences. The practical effects on display, are so great.
Yeah, I love this.
And again, the thing is that the effects are show stealing because as we talked about, when we've mostly talked about other things and sort of as we do on these kind of podcast things. But as soon as the special effects come up, straight away we want to talk about the special effects because they're so good.
I remember hearing something. Didn't they hire someone?
They got a real amputee for one of these shots, and just stuck a mask of the actor on him.
I mean,
it may be because watching on Blu-ray for the first time, it may appear more obvious than it did on VHS and DVD, but we'll see. It's still a great special effect. But yeah, I never noticed the nose piercing on DVD before. So I had it on VHS and then I had it on DVD. Well, I rented it on DVD, bought it on VHS, and then bought it on DVD years later. And now we have the Blu-ray, which it looks nice. It's a very, like all John Carpenter films, a very well shot movie.
It looks really. I was just saying, it looks really great on Blu-ray.
Most films do. I mean, there are very few films that don't benefit from Blu-ray. That is a great shot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that one shot there is where he's flailing. That's just somebody wearing a mask of his face, and someone who actually was an amputee. That is so gross. Oh my god. It looks real.
It does.
And the tongue flapping around in the mouth there.
It also made another head of the guy for no reason.
The only thing that's
just
to
freak him out
is that when they had the close up, and I'd never seen that before on another format, so that you could see there was some kind of tube in there, which I'd never seen on the DVD. But obviously the Blu-ray is very clean. But still, it looks incredible.
Amazing. See, that's the thing is, I want to make films that have that kind of special effects, not like. I mean.
Trashy CGI.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with CGI when it's done well, but so often, especially in horror, and when it's the body and it's squishy, it should never be digital.
No, it should not. I mean, I can't believe this guy was 22.
Yeah.
And he had all this.
The head escaped to go start a new life in the big city.
I love the bit that comes up in a moment. They take it so far here. Into the realms of disgusting that they have to have a little bit of levity with the stoner whose name I can't remember.
I've forgotten his name.
Windows?
No, not Windows. The other guy, the one who kills Windows.
Spoiler.
He's the next one to bite it from. He's the next one to become the thing. That is repulsive.
It is. Oh my god.
This line here is just so brilliant. Just cannot believe what he's just seen. It's just so beyond the pale.
Just the idea of McCready losing his shit. It's fuck this. He just goes, I'm just punched it and it explodes. I'm not dealing with your shit anymore.
That's what would happen if the real Kurt Russell was in this situation.
No, his beard would have shot a laser out and destroyed it.
But of course, because he's playing a character, he has to downplay how tough he is.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of Kurt Russell.
No.
He's married to Goldie Hawn.
I don't know who that is.
Do you not know who? She was in Death Becomes Her. She's the blonde. She's the ginger haired.
I've not actually seen Death Becomes Her.
Oh, that's a good film.
Didn't he get an Academy Award for special effects?
Yeah, it's really good because
That's the thing with what's his name, Die Hard and
Bruce
Street.
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Bruce
Street.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, not Bruce Campbell.
Goldie. Yeah.
If he shoots him, it's a hate crime.
They had a couple of films together. Oh yeah, she was also in what's it called, Private Benjamin. If you ever saw that.
I didn't. Now, that shot apparently was really hard to get because he really does obviously fire a blank there, and everyone was really worried about health and safety, but everything was fine.
So he wasn't a monster?
Nope.
Way to go, Kirk. But then again, it was kind of that guy's fault for...
Palmer, that's his name. The stoner guy. This is really tense. This is one of the best scenes in the film, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Can you just burn off a bit of hair?
Yeah, this is more dramatic though, isn't it?
Fine, if you want to do it that way, and drink, get a pint of blood out of them.
It does
But then
surprise
it
me
would have
just
worked on
how hated this was, because it is really good.
Yeah, it is really, really good.
And like there weren't some. I guess that proves that like critics are just a hive mind though, like the thing, because they know that they do. Critics
you've hit speed forward.
Oh god, critics just say what they're told. You know. Okay, I bashed the remote there, guys, so we may have fallen slightly out of sync.
So tough. We have to start the whole thing again.
Yeah. So we're at now. We're at the master shot where Kurt Russell is foregrounded and he's messing with the wire, and now we're at the close up that says Knowles and he's just cut his hand. So hopefully that'll help you sync up a wee bit.
Yeah.
If we fell out of sync there, apologies for that. The remote was at my feet and I accidentally kicked it.
I would refuse to like cut your thumb. Like, say if you survive, like, if you actually survive this, like, I've got to cut my thumb for a few weeks. Dig?
I know, it's like I'm really, really sore, you know?
Yeah, how many things I need to use my thumb for? I can't get a lift.
Like fucking everything.
I can't tell if someone they've done a good job from a distance.
Ooh.
Yuck.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like it hurts. It's just like, yep, there we go.
I'm totally not the thing.
It's so tense the first time you see it, because you genuinely don't know which of them is the thing. You just know one of them must be.
Yeah.
None of them are. They've already killed it and they can go home.
The sound design here is really nice, with the actual sound of the flamethrower and everything.
Yeah.
It's so tense that we just shut up and watch it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, we know it's coming and we're still invested.
Oh shit! I really thought that was the thing.
Well, they never make it clear how conscious the thing is, do they? Like, because in fact, like the actor who played Norris was like saying in an interview, he's like he kind of turns down the position of leader when he's offered it because he's unsure if he's infected or not. So it's never really made clear how aware the thing is at first of when it copies you. Like,
do you think you're?
Does it still think it's you until it's necessary to not be, or something like that? It's kind of creepy.
Tension.
Because you really feel like Clark was the thing, you know, and then he's not. Smoke comes out there.
Smoke weed.
We're on the close for Keith David, by the way, just to double check you guys are in sync. That's so annoying. I can't believe that happened. God, this is creepy. There's like flamethrower jam. Yeah, there it is. Can't get the damn thing working, which is perfect.
Oh my god.
You think he's just doing that just to be a dick to freak him out?
Yeah.
Just kidding, guys.
Because it could have probably found a more efficient way to escape rather than just tear its own head apart first. Oh god, that's horrible. Like the windows is like frozen in terror. They can't even do anything.
Oh god, that's horrible.
This freaked me out so much. The first time I saw this film, the scene, like, even though it's quite cartoonish, the way he like picks him up and like crushes his skull. Like, I remember saying to my mother, who I was watching it with at the time, I was like, "Mum, if it gets any worse than this, I'm going to turn it off." Like if it gets any more violent than this, I can't stomach it. Because I was about maybe 14 years old, 15 years old. I was like, I can't take anything worse than this. This is as far as I can go.
It's fine. I can see his parachute.
This is one of the only films that John Carpenter didn't score himself because he wasn't asked.
Yeah.
But I like it. It's a bit of a change.
I think Ennio Morricone's a brilliant composer, though.
I mean,
He's best known for
He just
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Kool-Aid his way out the wall.
But it's a really dangerous stunt as well, the full body burn. Like, that's one thing like all stuntmen are slightly afraid of, you know, because it can go so wrong. I always felt sorry for Windows. And just because like he got such a grim death, you know, just getting the teeth in the brain.
He might have not even been infected yet, but it's probably
Yeah. Well, I think he dies, doesn't he, and then starts moving again. So I think it's heavily implied that the thing is kind of consuming him. I think Knowles was the first one to draw blood, and like you have to wait ages to see the result.
Isn't there still like a puddle of blood running around? So none of us are the thing. Okay, that's back to normal. They just go back to their normal routine, just sans a few people.
He's just so he looks so sad.
I don't want to be the thing. Why'd I get picked last?
I love this moment. That's brilliant. I love that moment.
Yeah.
It's tied to this fucking couch.
It's not even comfy.
Just give
I
me
think it's the
cushion.
winter as well. Do you know what I mean? Like they're in. Not only is it Antarctica, it's the winter in Antarctica. Like,
Yeah.
what a terrible place to be with like a killer alien. Like,
Yeah.
Why can't it be somewhere nice, like
it can't be the Bahamas or something.
Like, oh.
with all the additional wildlife and biomatter?
Well, the thing
Exactly.
is,
You know, the thing could have a great time.
It's like
The
she's got a Struckle shirt on, an upside down face.
the thing on holiday.
The thing goes Hawaiian.
So it's basically just like Ernest, but you replace Ernest with
The thing scared stupid. Who the fuck even remembers the Ernest movies? What the hell is wrong with you?
Ernest goes to.
I only remember them because I've just been prompted.
The thing is, I remember them because it was the same guy it was Jim Varney that did the it was
I'll be honest,
Ernest.
I liked the Ernest movies when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because I was like one of those kind of kids. I liked that kind of stupid humour.
Well, Ernest Scared Stupid was great.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I don't remember Ernest Goes to Jail, in which all the prison guards were just
bum him.
yeah, they were all dressed like pink, like weird pink outfits, and they end up electrocuting Ernest for, I don't know, it's like theft. So they gave him the death penalty, but instead of killing him, it gave him superpowers.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, because the electric chair and it gave him like super electro powers.
Super Electro
Ernest Electro Man.
Which I believe happens every now and again.
Yeah, I think it happens once in a while. If you're too retarded for, it actually fires your brain up properly, or something like that. No, it doesn't. That's a thing I made up.
Yeah.
It may not be
But
a
the
truth.
way you went, it sounded like perhaps for a moment you thought I was saying something.
Maybe if I
No, that was more of
maybe
it
if
was
I
a-
put
it
on a
was
tin hat and stick my
It was more of a sarcastic.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it though, Gemma?
Yes, it was.
I'm not convinced. I like this like junk spaceship. Like he was trying to build a spaceship out of like just battered shit. It looks so crap. It's amazing.
Like, did he make it in his shed in an afternoon?
Well, yes. He was in a shed.
He's going to appear on Robot Wars next.
Coming up next on Robot Wars.
The Thing.
I just said SOB instead of son of a bitch. Like, we didn't want to push the movie's rating too far. I mean, we've already had quite a lot of deplorable violence.
This SOB.
I wonder how Carpenter feels about the film now that it's a lot more respected and things. Because I know, obviously, you were saying earlier he really took it personally that the film did badly and got bad reviews.
It's his
especially
personal
that the
favourite.
director of the original hated it.
It's his personal favourite of his films he's made.
That's good. Because I think it should be, because it is an excellent film. It's certainly my favourite of his films.
See, thing is, I've got a really... it's really difficult for me to choose a favourite John Carpenter movie because it's a toss-up between this one, Escape from New York, and Assault on Precinct 13.
See, I need to see those movies. I love They Live, but I think its budget lets it down. Like,
yeah. I think it only had a $4 million budget.
Yeah, it feels cheap, They Live, and I feel like the second half isn't as good as the first half. You know what I mean? There are moments where the story just goes up and down. I like Roddy Piper at times, but he's not a great actor.
No.
You know.
It's all for the Keith David fight.
Yeah, like I think it's a great movie, but it's not as good as this. And I don't think it's as good as Halloween.
Also, I kind of want to know what happens afterwards. Like, they've just... You know,
like we've just outed this like species that has pretty much enslaved our planet. Like, are we going to take revenge, or like are we just going to let
a big
them live among
interstellar
us?
war?
Like, yeah, what's going to happen?
I mean, like, they didn't seem to have any like. It was weird because the technology level seemed to be weird because like they had like multi-space dimensional travel sort of thing, but nothing really else. Like they're really good at space travel and advertisement. That's why they couldn't take us directly.
It is difficult trying to pick a favourite John Carpenter movie because he's probably in my top 5 favourite directors. Just, you know, because he's just a huge bunch of his films.
That's a beautiful shot, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how to do lens flare right.
Not like
You know?
Look at that frosted
Not like
beard.
the fucking Total Recall remake. There's like about 800 lens flares in that movie. Like there was somebody did a video where they counted all of them. It was completely ridiculous.
It was made by the same guy that did the Underworld movies.
Yeah, and God, can you tell?
Well, that was a hell of a throw. Let's get it rolling there. You could bowling champion.
Well, the thing is, I mean, bowling is not really a sport that people do full time. You know, so other people who are good at bowling have day jobs. So
Like throwing dynamite.
Yeah, so these guys are scientists, but one of them's also a bowling champion. It's similar to darts in that sense. You do people who do full-time darts, really. You know, my grandmother, a darts champion at one time. Many trophies in our home. I have no trophies. I don't play darts.
I got a trophy once, but it was for Stamp Club.
So basically, they're all just resigned to, you know what, fuck it, we're all gonna die.
I got a trophy for Stamp Club.
Let's just burn everything. Fuck it.
Well, it's like they can't let the thing freeze because then it'll thaw out when the rescue team comes, and they'll probably end up taking it back to civilization with them. So they have to.
They have to put a little do not disturb sign.
Yeah, they have to do what they can to stop it from freezing itself. Again, like the tone is very dark and apocalyptic, but I think that works in the film's favour. I don't know why people felt bad about that. I mean, I guess like we're saying, like people wanted to watch E.T. and Close Encounters and feel good about aliens. But come on, guys, it's a good movie. Like, it's a great movie, in fact.
Fuck the Zeniths.
What do you think? Maybe this.
Humanity, fuck yeah.
Well, the thing is, as well, is the Alien came out in 1979, and that wasn't exactly painting aliens.
No,
aliens in a great light.
By extension, did very well at the box office and with critics.
Yeah, and then I'm sure the Aliens did really well after this. So it was 4 years later it was released. After this, so it probably
when
went.
This came out on home video, it did well. And then it did its business back.
Cult classic type of thing.
Yeah, and eventually critics started reevaluating the film. And once one or two critics started saying, actually, it's really good, of course, they all started saying it because,
they're sheep.
Because critics are fucking sheep. They're Welsh.
Open your eyes, mankind. Stop being sheeple.
And what I mean is they're putting their dicks into sheep because all critics come from Wales or New Zealand. It's a little known fact.
Did you ever see that film Black Sheep?
I was at the horror movie
Yeah.
set in New Zealand. I never did. I had it on DVD and I never got around to watching it.
It's horrific.
What, horrifically good or just bad?
Bad. Really bad.
Just so you know, I was being sarcastic when I said horrifically good.
Okay, good.
I'm not sure that's an expression. So is that a good siren? So when have you ever known a siren be good? I think it's nice. I love the way John Carpenter shoots his films. Like, in terms of color and camera and everything, he does just the mood is always so thick, even when nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's always just so intense. This feels like the end of civilization. It just feels dark and disturbing and sad. You know.
Mm-hmm.
What if all three of his apocalypse movies are taking place at the same time?
Just like the biggest apocalypse, you know. It's like basically so the Thing and like Anti-God.
And then
like,
the creatures from the other dimension.
The ancients from so all have to fight it out for domination of the planet.
There was a
oh my god, that'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
There was a game that was it never got made, but it was called Human Resources, and what it was is multiple things attacking the Earth at the same time. So you had giant robots that eat people to power themselves up, and then like elder god things as well. Would have been like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just daydreaming about the John Carpenter sequel I just came up with.
Well, it's all three of these. So,
It's all three of these
so,
apocalypses happening at once.
You got like the Thing got to a country and they basically took it over, and now it's this giant mass. And then there's like Anti-God who's going, I'm going to punch some shit with my furry hand.
And then you've got like the ancients from Mouth of Madness that have taken hold in like the USA.
I still need to see that.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty slick film. Let's ring up John Carpenter and see if we can get him to make it.
He'd probably do it for like 20 quid, I reckon.
Yeah.
If
We get Nicolas Cage to star in it.
Just give Nicolas Cage a bucket of spaghetti.
I just want to say this is that it actually has.
This is disappointing for me. Like he just gets killed by Wilfred Brimley.
Mm-hmm.
At least he's
like it's a kind of interesting death. Like I've never seen anything like that before. But it's just like, he was quite an interesting character, and he just kind of dies. He doesn't even get to turn into the Thing or anything.
He just dies.
I mean, I think the thing we can take away from this is that when shit starts going down, immediately kill Wilfred Brimley.
Yeah. He's at the salad bar, helping himself to salad. I thought, doesn't he have diabetes?
It's actually on IMDb.
Okay, Pingu's the Thing. There was a version of the Thing starring Pingu that was a 2-minute short.
Claymation.
Of course, it's claymation.
It wasn't be live action.
Oh my god, we're watching that.
Yes. Apparently, the video game got a good review.
8.1. Fuck off.
Yeah.
The AI was shit.
It was just a terrible game in general. It was boring. The graphics sucked. Gameplay was tedious and repetitive. The story was like fan fiction-y. And as you just pointed out, the AI was total garbage. It was inconsistent as well. It was like, my character's freaking out. He's obviously the Thing. I'll do the blood test on him. Nothing happens. Moments later, he turns to the Thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, why did the blood test not work then? Why do I have this item in the game if it doesn't work properly?
Why do you even need a squad?
Yeah, the whole squad thing, the squad management thing was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make them trust you by giving them guns. I was like, what? I'm going to give someone I suspect might be infected a gun. So they'll use a fuse box that I can't use. This is so intense, isn't it?
There was actually John Carpenter was actually doing concerts, doing a tour of the UK recently.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is a musician as well,
Yeah.
isn't he? So.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see.
Or was he doing music from his films? Or
Yeah,
like...
pretty much.
I know David Lynch doesn't perform live, does he? Even though he's got 2 albums and like other collaborative albums as well. He's got 2 solo albums and collaborative albums, but he doesn't perform live.
No.
Small amount of stop motion there, which I think is kind of cool. Like it's dated, as stop motion always is, but like it's very 80s and it's cool to see it.
Yes, it is.
Makes you wonder, like, how much, like, how big is it? Because it's like only got so much flesh to work with. I mean, it doesn't need to bring out a dog. It's just doing that to be a dick.
Yeah.
Action roll. Fetch.
I love that instead.
Yeah, I love it doesn't make like a clever pun because he's not an action hero,
Just
McCready,
like,
you know?
fuck you too.
Fetch boy. That's what you said if it was Snake Plissken.
Oh yeah.
Bad dog.
Some of the best
Play dead.
Some of the best lines when you kill the bad guy, as we mentioned in the Dracula thing with the "go to hell and take your friends with you," are not particularly clever. You know,
or ice skating and hills.
yeah, or Jaws, smile, you son of a bitch. You know, it's got nothing to do with sharks or water or anything. It's not a pun. It's just like just a cool thing to say before you blow somebody up.
Or
It's
like let off
just
some
to see you. Damn it!
steam, Bennett.
It's going to meet you. But yeah, some of the things like let off some steam, Bennett. You know, they're actually puns and things. But a lot of great like action like one-liners are just random things like that. Like, yeah, fuck you too. I actually really like in Independence Day where they're sitting in the cockpit with the missile. Like, do you think they have any clue what's about to happen to them? Not a chance in hell.
If only the rest of the movie was, good.
I really like Independence Day.
The Independence Day is great.
I
The
think
sequel, on the other hand,
Oh God,
That's,
God, the
that's
sequel.
true. I
never
still
watch
think
that again.
it's
never.
also. I still like the fact in Independence Day they hack into the alien computer or the mothership with was like Windows 98 or something like that, or 95, something like. They hacked into the alien spaceship somehow.
I like this scene as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a really nice way to end the movie.
I mean, the scene where the helicopter comes by and picks him up and saves him.
Do you want to know something? You know how there's always that big ambiguous who's the thing
Yeah.
at the end? Like,
That's another thing that the video game fucked up
is
as
it,
well.
is it Childs or is it McCready, right? Do you know how it's obvious that it's Childs?
How?
Because he's the only one that's not breathing.
There's the hot air coming out.
He's not shooting steam out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Well,
Oh my god, I'd never even considered that. Again, watching it on the Blu-ray makes it very clear, like that there's not even like the smallest amount coming out. But good God, you're right.
right. So that's an interesting thing. Like like I said,
That
like
his body temperature is like adapting to the cold.
Yeah.
But
That's fucked up.
as you say, the games fuck it up because what happens is
Charles, you just find his dead body.
you find
don't
Charles'
Yeah.
dead body, and McCready somehow survived to pilot the helicopter at the end of the game.
I like the music a lot. Just coming back in here, the iconic Thing music. That's a beautiful shot as well.
It
I think
is.
Carpenter's one of those filmmakers that can make destruction look beautiful.
He does. That's one of the good things about Escape from New York when you finally see it.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll probably watch it this week.
Love New York.
Okay, so that was The Thing. I've seen it quite a few times. Still love it just as much as the first time I saw it. It's a really excellent film.
Amazing. I love it.
It's probably my favourite John Carpenter movie. I haven't seen all of them, but it's probably my favourite John Carpenter movie.
I mean, it's up there as my top 3 John Carpenter movies. It'll move around a lot depending on which one I've seen most, but definitely.
So in the comments section, guys, leave your favourite John Carpenter movie. Mine obviously is The Thing.
Well, seeing as I only have like 4 Blu-rays and one of them is The Thing.
Yeah, probably The Thing. And Gemma, you can't decide between this Escape from New York and
Assault on Precinct 13.
All right. So thanks for tuning in once again, guys. This has been a real pleasure actually doing The Thing. It's one of my favourite movies of all time. So we'll see you tomorrow for another horror commentary.
Bye.
So that's the rehearsal. Do you want me to start recording now?